morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Miss.
Good morning, Mr. Webb.
Sorry, I was a little late. I was having problems with getting signed into Zoom, but I'm all set now. How are you? How are you doing today?
Good, Mr.
Good.
Well.
Here it
I'm
is.
working.
You're working.
Yes.
Okay. All right. You're having the class in the middle of work. That's okay.
That's fine.
That's okay. No problem. Everybody's welcome. Let's see. We have two people here. I don't know who is. Who is iPhone?
Rosa? Oh,
iPhone is Rosa?
yeah.
Okay. Rosa. Let me put your name
Veronica?
there so I know who's there. Okay. Okay.
I don't know why they didn't show up my name in my photo.
Oh, Veronica.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what happened.
Okay. And who is Samsung Galaxy? Let's see. We have Juan Pablo. We have Luis. We have Anna, Karina. Here comes
Yes.
Concepcion.
Yes.
Hi, Anna.
Hi. How are you? No te vemos.
I know. I don't know why it doesn't show my...
Mira, la camarita que pone abajo, si está en rojo, ponerla el dedo.
Oh, got it. Thank you, Anna.
There you go.
Okay.
There we go. All
Now you
right.
can see me.
Okay. Anyway, welcome. It's Saturday. Hot
Very
yesterday.
hot, teacher.
Oh my goodness. Crazy hot.
Yeah.
Crazy hot. Well, hopefully it will get cooler, but I heard maybe the hot weather can make the virus less active.
This is perfect day for beach, teacher.
What's that?
It's perfect day for beach.
Yeah, that's right. But the beach is closed, unfortunately,
Yeah.
right? That's the problem. That's the problem we have.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning, Maria.
Good
How are
morning,
you?
Maria.
How is everybody today? Good?
Good.
Good.
Did you have a good week?
Yes.
So
Where?
I guess well, you know, we're nobody has a good week. We just have an okay week, right?
Okay, I'm working.
Oh, you're working. That's important.
Good morning, Mr. Webb.
Good morning, Dulce. Okay, we got another iPhone coming in here. See who that is. I don't know. Anyway, we're here. We're ready to go. If you had a chance to watch that video I sent you,
Yes.
you'll see that we're going to talk about using the word if today.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Last week we talked about using because and due to and all of those words. Oh, that is Yuveli. Okay.
Hi.
Hello, Yuveli.
Hi, good morning. I was trying to come in.
There we go. Okay. All right. And Concepcion's there. Okay. Very good. Welcome, everybody. Let's start out with our verb practice as usual, and then we'll jump right into our lesson about using the word if today. Because if is a little tricky because it all depends on the situation. So we'll practice that a little bit. We've got people coming in very fast here. Okay, admit. There we go. Okay. All right, well, good to see so many of you still coming to English class, even though we have this crazy time in the world. So I think we're doing pretty good on our schedule. We have after today, we have 7 more classes, only 7. So we have a lot to cover before the time is over, but we'll do our best. Okay, so let's start with our verb warm-up, and then we'll talk about conditionals a little bit today. But first, let's start with the verbs. I sent you a file called Saturday Warm-Up. Saturday Warm-Up 425. All right, can everybody see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So let's see what we can do here. The
Has.
first one has the word Frank. What can we say
Has.
about Frank?
Has already
Has
attended.
already
Attended.
attended.
Has already attended. Right? Frank has already attended his Spanish class today. Has already attended. All right. The next one has the word dislike.
Cleaning.
Cleaning, right?
Cleaning.
Remember, we use that gerund with the word dislike.
Yes.
Dislike plus gerund. Dislike cleaning. The next one has the word after. So what can we say with after?
Is finished.
After you finish, right? Simple present. Simple present in that time clause.
Yes.
All right. The next one says, next Friday, the president plans.
Will
Well, hold on. We have the word plan here.
Plans are
Probably
going,
will
are
not.
going.
are going to.
But remember, with plan, we need a gerund or
Plans
infinitive. Plans
to.
to, exactly.
To.
Oh,
Because of the word plan, right?
plans,
Yeah.
plans. Okay.
Yeah.
Plans to announce his next healthcare policy, right? Plans to announce.
To.
Now, the next one
Okay.
is past, right? It says the children wanted to go to the movie. So we want past over here. How do we make a past negative?
Don't let.
Don't let.
Don't or didn't?
Didn't.
Didn't.
Right. Didn't let, right?
Didn't.
The children wanted to go to the movie, but
Uh-huh.
the mother didn't let them,
Okay.
right? Simple past because we have wanted in the first part,
Oh, okay.
right? All right. Now the next one, look, we have no subject. We have no subject. So we want this verb to be the subject. How can we do it?
I'm not sure, but we can use like a filing.
Exactly, a gerund. Perfect.
Okay.
Remember, when we have an action as our subject, we can use a gerund. Filing the sales receipts is a boring task. Swimming is my hobby. Whenever you have a verb as your action subject, you want to use a gerund. You could say to file, but that's not very common in English. Filing is better.
Okay.
This one is better. All right. The next one is about tomorrow morning, so it's future.
Will you?
Will you read?
Will you read?
Or we could say, are you going to read, right?
Okay.
Now the next one has that word since.
Since.
Since is one of our key words for present perfect, right?
Hasn't left.
Yeah.
Hasn't
Left.
lived.
Hasn't left.
Hasn't left her house today since it started to rain. Right. Now the next one has the word enjoy.
Enjoyed.
Walking.
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 Exactly. Enjoy plus gerund. Enjoy walking.
To work this morning.
To work this morning. Enjoyed walking. All right. Number 10, Mrs. Scott forgot. So again, remember
To say to buy.
To buy.
to buy, exactly. Whenever we have verb and verb, the second verb is going to be a gerund or an infinitive. When you have a responsibility, but you forget it, we say, I forgot to do that. Sorry, I forgot to do that. I forgot to buy the bread. I forgot to call my mother. Or in this case, Mrs. Scott forgot to buy her husband's birthday present.
Yes.
All right, the next one happened last night. So what can we say?
Did.
Did,
You
right,
Did.
perfect.
To
Did you sing
sing the
national anthem before last night's game? Now, number 12 is about a dog, and we say generally. So should we say isn't, doesn't, or hasn't? Or in general?
Hasn't. No, doesn't.
Doesn't.
Doesn't, right?
hasn't.
Doesn't.
Doesn't bark. Our dog Fido generally doesn't bark very much. In general, negative. Doesn't. Now, number 13, this is especially for level 4s and 5s and 6s. Level 3, you don't have to worry about too much this one, but level 4, 5, and 6, you have to pay attention. It says, remember we talked about this 2 weeks ago. Jack didn't work on Saturday, right? That's past, right? Because he
Work.
worked would be okay, but we could also say he had worked.
Had,
Remember past perfect? We talked about it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could just say worked. That's okay. But we could also say had worked. Had worked or worked. Both okay. All right. Now the next one says before and ever. Ever before. So what can we say there?
have,
Has.
has,
Has Andy ever had, right? Has Andy ever had any trouble in his math class before? Present perfect. All right, the next one is hope. Hope what? Should we say hope to or hope moving?
To move.
to move, to move.
Hope to move.
To move to
right?
Arizona.
Very good. Hopes. My parents hope to move to Arizona when they retire. All right. Now the next one is the action in progress.
Quita la mano, quita la mano.
It's for 20 minutes.
Has
For-
been.
Has been.
been.
Has been dusting. Very good. Has been dusting. Right? Tom has been dusting the furniture for 20 minutes. Has been dusting.
Okay.
The next one says, how often bake cookies?
Has Mr. Harris?
I'm not sure for how often. What do you think? Has, is, or does?
Does.
Does. I agree. Because I'm asking a general question.
Okay.
Remember that from level 2, the how often question? Simple present. How often does Mrs. Harris bake cookies? How often does she bake? Okay. Now the next one is about Rex and his wife to the circus last year.
Last year.
So what can we say?
Didn't they?
Didn't take. Simple past, negative.
Yes.
Now the next one says not yet. Not yet.
Yeah.
Hasn't, right.
Hasn't.
Hasn't
Okay, has
changed.
changed.
Right? Change is a regular verb. Remember, regular verbs use ed for your past participle. Okay? Remember, level 3's present perfect is your big thing to learn for level 3. If you know present perfect and you know gerunds and infinitives, you're ready for level 4. But if you don't know present perfect, you're not ready to leave level 3 yet. All right, so here's another one that's present perfect, right? Ever.
Has. Doris.
Has.
Doris ever. And our past
Worn.
participle is
Worn.
worn,
Worn.
right? Has Doris ever worn her black dress? All right. The next one, Thomas loves.
Sleeping.
Sleeping.
In this case, we can go both ways. Loves sleeping, loves to
Sleep.
remember, there are a few verbs, not very many, that you can use a gerund or infinitive and it's the same. For example, I like swimming, I like to swim. I love dancing, I love to dance. What are the other ones? Like, love, hate, begin, start, continue, prefer. So 7 words. Should I write those on the board? Why not? Huh? Why not? Let me put those on the board for a second. All right. Verbs with gerund or infinitive. These words, like, love, hate, begin, start, continue, prefer, these words, you can't make a mistake. It's impossible to make a mistake. You use a gerund, no problem. You use infinitive, no problem. For example,
I like dancing or I like to dance.
right? Same thing. Same thing. I like dancing, I like to dance.
I love singing. I love to sing.
Same thing. Etc., 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 etc. Right? So these words, very, very, very common words, you literally can't make a mistake. If you use a gerund, no problem. If you use infinitive, no problem. Now, most words in English, you have to choose one or the other. For example, enjoy, always gerund. Want, always infinitive. But some verbs, like, love, hate, begin, start, continue, prefer, those words, doesn't matter. Right? I prefer staying home. I prefer to stay home. Please continue working. Please continue to work. Same thing. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let me go back to our warm-up here. Number 22 has the word usually. What can we say with usually? I
Make.
usually make. Right? I usually make a sandwich for lunch. The next one says, I'm not good at. You see that word at? That's a preposition, right? What do we use with a preposition?
To dance.
Nope, not infinitive. Gerund.
Dancing.
Dancing.
I'm not good at dancing, right? Whenever you have a preposition, in, on, at, to, from, with, by, about, for, whenever you have these prepositions, you need ing. So thank you for coming today. I'm worried about losing my job. I'm scared of jumping off an airplane, right? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right. Two more, and then we'll jump into our lesson. All right. The first one says Jack is going to be disappointed. He's going to be disappointed when?
He's going to be disappointed when he
Here's
When he hears the news.
news.
Very good. Simple present.
Here's the news.
Remember, present and future. Those are the partners. We're going to talk about that today. Main action, future. Time action, present.
Okay.
All right. And this one says on his birthday next month. Next month is future. So
Is
it's going to be 40
will
years
be
old.
or is going to be, right?
going
Will be 40 years old or is going to be 40 years old. He is not 40 years old right now. He's 39. But on his birthday, he will be 40. Okay? No problem?
no problem, teacher.
No problem. Good. All right. Good.
Teacher, what can you put all the page in the screen, the warmer on the screen?
What's that? Which one?
The page we finish now. I don't like the first one.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
The beginning of the screen, the page?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let's put it up there for a second. Okay. The first part?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, like I said, today we're going to do some practice with the word if. But before we do that, I want to look again at that homework that I gave you yesterday. I know some people had a problem opening up the file, but I know I saw that some people took it. So I want to look at those answers together just to make sure we remember everything from last week. And then we're gonna go and start the main lesson for this week. But first, let's look at that homework I gave you. Okay. All right. So let's see here. We got a couple new people here. Let's see. We have, who is G7 Thin Q? Who is that person?
Me, Virgilio.
Virgilio? Okay, you're a Galaxy, Samsung Galaxy, right?
Yeah.
Virgilio. Oops. Virgilio. Okay, very good, Virgilio. And Galaxy Tab A8. Who's this person? I don't know. Galaxy Tab A8 and the G7 Thin Q. All right, well, I guess welcome whoever you are. Welcome whoever you are. All right. So, did you get the opportunity to do that homework that I sent last night? Yes? No?
Yes.
Maybe? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's look at it together, and then if you didn't have a chance to do it last night, you can do it on your own after the class is over. Okay. All right. But let's look at it together. Shall we do that? Why not?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see here. Okay.
No, estoy tomando clases.
It was. Can you see the page of Schoology?
Yes.
Yes.
So it was this little test right here, cause and effect, right? So let's look at it together. And if you didn't do it yet, you can do it after the class is over. And remember, you see this little note it says here? It says, you may make, oops, that's a little too big. Gotta get it the right size. There, that's still too big. Try that, there. You may make as many attempts as you like, right? So you can do it 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times until you understand the questions, okay? But let's look at these and see what we can do. All right. Question 1. Can everybody read the questions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Good. All right. Now here we have a noun, right? Beautiful weather, right?
Weather.
What did we say about nouns?
It's because of.
Perfect. Because of the beautiful weather. Because weather is a noun. Remember, because of, due to, we use with a noun. So, because of. Good. All right. The second one, Walter got a very good score on the test. He studied very hard. Now that's a subject and a verb, right?
Yeah, it's because.
Because, exactly, right? The action and then the reason, right? He got a good score because he studied hard. Very good. Now this next one. Oh, this next one, the teacher made a mistake. Sorry, teacher made a mistake here. Oops. Oops. I should have put a comma and I have a period instead. Right?
Yeah,
sorry about that. Sorry about that.
When I make the test, I put different and I wrong because.
All right, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I'll fix that. I'll fix that before. All right. Anyway.
I can open this one last night.
All right. Says Jason is a very talented basketball player, comma.
Consequently.
Consequently would be a period.
Period.
Yeah.
Because. If it's a comma, it's because, no?
So.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He's a talented player, so he got a scholarship.
He got a scholarship.
Okay.
He's talented, so he got a scholarship. Right?
Mr. Webb.
What?
A question. Why it has to be so in a because?
Because if you had because, it would be at the beginning of the sentence. Because he is a talented player, he got a scholarship.
Okay.
Okay, that's why I get confused.
Right? Because this is answering why did he get the scholarship? Because he is a talented player, right?
Oh, okay. Got it.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
All right. All right. Now this one says his disability.
Mr. Hernandez.
Because of.
That's a
It's
noun.
because.
Because
of.
All right. Number 6. Traffic in Los Angeles is terrible.
Terrible.
For
Punto.
Consequently.
Okay.
Consequently.
Consequently, I'm considering moving to another smaller city. Right.
Oh,
Punto. Consequently.
Consequently.
All right. Because I bought tickets for a cruise to Jamaica.
I got a good price.
Because I got a good price. Exactly. Because plus subject and verb. Because plus subject and verb. We decided not to go to the play.
right.
Is therefore? Therefore? Number B?
Because.
Therefore?
Because, right?
Because?
Because. Again, here's what we did and here's why, right? Why didn't you go to the play? Why didn't you go to the play? Because the tickets were expensive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that's a little confusing, that, teacher, because it's there's no subject and no verb.
Well, we have
Just because.
tickets were. Yeah, tickets were. So
Oh, okay.
so you have a subject and verb. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. All right. Mr. Anderson was a fantastic teacher. Punto.
Is therefore? Is number A?
Therefore. Right. His class is always full. Therefore and consequently after the punto, right? Okay, the next one. English has strange grammar rules. Students who are learning English need to memorize many things.
So?
We have a punto.
Up.
Therefore. Right. Therefore after punto. Right. Hector works overtime every night, comma, he can't come to school anymore.
Therefore.
Therefore.
No, remember, therefore is with a punto.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Of.
Since.
I think it's
It's since.
So.
Oh.
Remember, if you have cause, comma, so, effect. Cause, comma, so, effect. He works overtime every night, so he can't come to school anymore. All right, the next one. Mr. Sanchez is a citizen. He is able to vote in local, state, and federal elections.
Is because.
Even though.
Because.
Because.
Because, Mr.
All right, the next one says, English is not his native language. Victor speaks with an accent and makes grammar mistakes.
Because of.
Well, this
Do
says,
it too.
hold on.
English.
Remember, due to and because of would be with nouns. Do we have a noun here? No, we have a noun and a verb.
And a verb.
English is.
Since.
Since English is not his native language, Victor speaks with an accent and often makes grammar mistakes. Since. All right. He got a promotion because
Hard work.
No, he had worked very hard.
He had worked very hard, right? Subject and verb after because. Subject and verb after because. He got a promotion because he had worked very hard. All right. I didn't like the movie because of
The violence.
of violence, right? Because of noun. All right. Now these are a little tricky. Walter is a doctor. He makes a good salary. What is the cause and what is the effect?
The effect is a good salary.
Right. The effect is a good salary. So let's say Walter. No, sorry. Because Walter, oops, if I can spell, can't write today. Walter is a doctor, comma, he makes
a
a
Good salary.
salary, right? Subject and verb, subject and verb. Because Walter is a doctor, he makes a good salary. Okay?
My English class. My English class.
My English class is difficult. I have to study hard with so. Now, where do I put so?
In
the middle.
of the sentence?
In the middle, with a comma or a period?
With a comma.
The
The
comma.
comma. Okay.
Comma.
So I say my
My English class.
English, oops, if I can spell
difficult.
English class
Comma.
is
My English
difficult,
Comma.
comma, so
So
I
I
English
have to
class
study hard.
difficult.
study
So
hard.
I have
My English class is difficult, so I have to study hard. There was a snowstorm. The roads were dangerous because of. Now remember, because of. What's the rule about because of?
It's a
Need
noun.
a noun.
Noun.
What's the noun? Snowstorm, right?
It's not noun.
Yes.
So because of
The road
Was
because of a snowstorm,
No storm.
the roads were dangerous. Because of a snowstorm, the roads were dangerous. Because of noun. Okay. Danny is a very good worker. He has gotten 3 promotions in the last year. Okay. What can we say?
David is very good worker.
David is a
Period. Consequently,
worker.
he has gotten the
Period.
promotion. Consequently, he has
comma.
gotten.
What happened?
He has gotten the promotion the last year.
Gotten
Gotten
3
the
promotions
in the last year.
since last year. In the last year. David is a very good worker. Consequently, he has gotten 3 promotions in the last year. Now, this next one is actually something we're going to talk about in another lesson, even though in Spanish is aunque.
Okay.
So this one, I'll talk to you about this another time, but I'll just give you the answer right now.
It's even
Miguel
though.
Lost his job, even though he worked very hard.
Even though
he worked very hard.
Yeah, that's a contrast. We'll talk about contrast in another lesson. But there it is. He lost his job even though he worked very hard. Now the reading, I don't want to go over with you together. You can do that by yourself. There's a reading here that you can do when you have time. So again, I wanted to go over that together, and I'll fix the one that has a little mistake in it. So if you haven't done it yet, you can do it for practice after the lesson, okay? No problem?
No problem.
Okay, so we talked last week about because and since, right? Those two? Those were called clause connectors, right? Because you always have a subject and a verb with them. Today I want to talk about other clause connectors, one that's called if and one that's called unless. So I'm going to put everybody's microphone off for a second.
Okay.
All right. Can everybody hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Yes, okay, very good. Very good. Okay, so we're going to talk about another clause connector today, and it's an important one because it's a little bit tricky because the verbs will depend on the situation. So let's talk about it today. We're going to talk about what we call conditionals, okay? And I sent a video out about conditionals a little earlier, but now let's go over it together and then we'll do some practice together as well. So let me open up my presentation here. Gotta push the couple of buttons here to get everything ready to go. There we go. Can everybody see the word conditionals on the screen? Give me a thumbs up if you can. Okay, very good. So today we're going to talk about 3 situations. Habitual, meaning something that happens all the time or often. Possible, meaning something that's in the future, but it might happen. And imaginary, a situation that's not true. It's just my imagination. I'm just having a daydream. So depending on the situation, I'm going to choose different verbs for my sentences. So let's look at this a little bit together. All right, using the words if and unless. These are the 2 main words we use for conditionals. Unless, I'm not going to talk about too much today, but if is also for conditionals. Sometimes in English, we want to talk about things that might happen depending on the situation. We call these sentences conditionals. Examples. Show you some examples here. Get this out of my way. If I don't eat breakfast, I always get hungry in the morning. I will be happy if Melanie comes to the party tomorrow. If I had a boat, I would go sailing every weekend. I wouldn't buy that car if I were you. I will quit my job unless I get a raise. All of these are called conditionals. And as you notice, the verbs are a little bit different in each one of the sentences. So, and again, you don't have to panic about copying all this information down because I will send you a copy of it right after the class. Okay, so let's take a look at each one of these conditionals carefully. In this lesson, we're going to talk about 3 basic conditionals. The habitual, which sometimes you see a book will call the 0 conditional. That's for actions that happen regularly. It happens all the time, the condition. The possible, or sometimes called the first conditional, which we use for things that haven't happened yet. They're in the future. And our actions depend on the situation. And the imaginary, or sometimes called second conditional, which is for unreal actions, for just imagination. So these are the 3 kinds of conditionals we're going to talk about today. There's one more conditional, but that's really only for level 6 students. So if you're a level 6 student, I'll send you a little presentation about that. But I'm not going to spend time in class about it because we just don't have enough level 6 students for me to spend an hour talking about it. But I will send you a presentation about the other kind. So the habitual conditional, or sometimes called the 0. When we use this form, the condition happens regularly and is usually or always followed by the same result. Examples. And so our form is if simple present, then simple present. Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. Why? Because when we talk in general, with usually, always, sometimes, often, we use simple present, don't we? So this is not surprising. This is just normal English, using simple present for regular activities. Example, I usually go to bed early if I feel tired. Simple present, nothing fancy. I'm never late if I catch the 6:30 bus outside my house. Again, simple present. If I need help, my sister always helps me. If I need help, my sister always helps me. If it rains, I always bring my umbrella with me. So again, what are we using? Simple present, simple present, simple present. And why? Claro, these are regular activities. So this is just back to level 1, right? What did we learn in level 1? Regular activities, simple present. So nothing fancy here. This part easy, I hope. I hope it's easy, right? This one, the first conditional, is the one we use the most. This is the one we use the most. When we're thinking about the future and we think, what happens? Well, it depends. It depends on the situation, right? If one thing happens, I will do this. If the other thing happens, I will do that, right? We use this form when the condition might happen in the future. Remember, might means maybe, right? When maybe this will happen. And the form is if, simple present, then will and the base. If, simple present, then will and the base. For example, if it rains tomorrow, I will bring my umbrella with me. If present, then future. If it rains, I will bring my umbrella with me. If it rains, I will bring. Present and future. The teacher is going to be angry if I don't do my homework. We have a future here, then we have if and simple present over here. Notice I can use will or going to. Usually we use will, but going to is okay. If we leave now, we will be on time for the movie tonight. If we leave now, we will be on time for the movie. If I save enough money, I will buy a car next summer. So again, my action depends on the condition. My action depends on the condition. Are you going to bring your umbrella tomorrow? It depends. If it rains, I will bring my umbrella. Is the teacher going to be angry? It depends. If I don't do my homework, the teacher will be angry. Are we going to be on time for the movie? That depends. If we leave now, we will be on time. Are you going to buy a car next summer? That depends. If I save enough money, I will buy a car. Notice when we use the word if, we use a comma between the clauses. Notice when I have if in the front, what do I have right here? A comma. But in the second sentence, I have if in the middle. No comma. If in the front, comma. If in front, comma. But if is in the middle, like it is in the second sentence, no comma is necessary. But again, the form is still the same. The if part is always simple present. And the other part is going to be will. If present, then will. Okay? Now, there is a couple of variations I want to tell you about. Sometimes we use the words might or can when the result is less certain, or we are talking about the ability to use something. So it's not 100% present and will. Sometimes we use can, sometimes we use might, right? Look at this example. If I have time tomorrow, I might go to the mall. Maybe. Remember, might equals maybe I will. right? If I have time tomorrow, I might go to the mall. I don't know. I'll think about it. I might go. If Henry can pass math class, his parents will be proud. Again, talking about his ability. So we have can here. If he can pass. I could say if he passes, but I can also use can because I'm talking about Henry's ability. If you drive too fast, you might have an accident. Maybe, possibly, right? Those of you who use the side-by-side level 2 book, you will recognize this form from that lesson. If you eat your veggies, you can have ice cream for dessert. If you eat your veggies, you can have ice cream for dessert. Again, can. It's possible. It's possible. Okay? All right, let me stop the share right there, and I want to practice with something else. Let me stop the share, and I'm going to put everybody's microphone back on for a second. Hello. So this is what we call the zero condition and the first condition, right? In other words, the habitual and the possible. So when we have if, what are the verbs going to be with if? If plus
Simple present.
simple present, right? If plus simple present, or sometimes if plus can.
Okay.
Sometimes can, right? Those are the two possibilities. Most of the time, simple present, right? If I have time, if I go to the beach, if I save my money, right? But sometimes if I can, for example, if I can go to New York, I will buy a ticket, right? If I can pass the test, I will be happy. So sometimes we use can in the if part. And then in the second part, we could have 3 possibilities. We could have will, we could have going to, actually 4 possibilities. Will, going to,
In simple present.
And
Might.
might, right?
my,
And
okay.
simple present. So you have 5 possibilities in the second part of the sentence, right? So simple present would be a habitual situation, right? Right? So for example, if I don't eat breakfast, I always feel hungry. Simple present. If I don't drink coffee, I feel sleepy. Simple present, right? We can also use simple future. That's the most common. Will, right? So for example, if I have time tomorrow, I will call you, right? We can also use going to. When do we use going to? When it's like a plan. For example, if I get a day off next week, I'm going to go shopping. Might. When do we use might? For something you're not sure about, right? If I get some extra money, I might take a trip. And can, something that's possible. So for example, if I pass this level, I can begin the next level.
Teacher,
Yes.
is necessary if the first or no?
No.
For example, the teacher is going to be hungry and I don't do my work.
Right.
Homework.
If is just like because. Remember because? We said because could be in the middle or could be at the beginning.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
Same thing. Because is a clause connector. If is a clause connector. So the rules are the same. If you put if first, comma.
Yeah.
If in the middle, no comma.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So we can use them both ways. So you say, I will be happy if my daughter comes to visit. Or you could say, if my daughter comes to visit, I will be happy.
Okay.
Right? Both are acceptable. If in the middle, no comma. If in the beginning, comma.
Comma.
Right? But if is always with the simple present, right? If is always with the simple present or can. Okay? So far, so good?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to do a little more practice with this,
Yeah.
but we're going to do some practice with listening, and then we'll do some conversation practice. And then in the second part of class, after our break time, we're going to look at the last kind of conditional, which really is only for level 4 and level 5 and level 6, not level 3. But this one definitely we need to know for level 3. So level 3 students, this is your time to shine, right? Level 4, 5, and 6, you have to know this for sure, but there's some other things you have to know too, but I'm going to explain after break time. Okay, so let me share a screen here, and we're going to do some listening practice. Okay. All right, so let me share my screen here. We're going to do some listening. So I'm going to turn off the microphones in just a second, but first I want to show you what I want to share with you today. If I can find the button. Here it is. All right. All right, can everybody see these pictures?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you see in the first picture?
Is eating breakfast and
Family
restaurant?
talking.
All right, hold on one second. I'm going to stop the share for a second. Whenever I share and I push this button, it always ruins the sound. I don't know if can you guys hear okay?
No.
Yeah, the sound on my end is always bad if I push this button. But I'm gonna share it without the sound for a second, so we can talk about it. Okay, now it's much better. Okay, all right. So we have a picture here. Who do we have? We have Ricardo, Felicia, and Michelle, right? And what is their relationship? Do you think?
Family?
A
Family?
family.
Family.
Sure, a
Dinner.
family.
Dinner. Family.
They're a family. They're having dinner, right?
Yeah.
And Felicia and Ricardo are going to make some plans. And so how is Ricardo going to check on the plans? Look at picture number 2.
Check the tickets.
He's checking on the internet for tickets and things, right?
Yeah. For to go San Francisco.
Right. So you see some pictures here, right? One idea is to go to San Francisco, right?
Yeah.
And how would they go if they went to San Francisco?
Airplane.
Airplane. And where would they stay?
A hotel.
A hotel. But there's another possibility too, and that's the last picture. What's that
Yeah,
picture?
Sequoia.
Camping.
Going camping, Sequoia National Park. That's nice too. Huh?
Yeah.
Those are a lot of nice things to do in California. That's for sure.
Maybe Yosemite, teacher.
Yeah, maybe Yosemite. Unfortunately, we can't do any of these things right now. No, we're all sad. We're stuck.
Yosemite.
I don't know what people are going to do in the summer because like yesterday it was what 95 degrees. Everybody was hot and nobody could go to the beach.
No.
So hard.
Okay, it's horrible. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to stop this share for a second, and now I'm going to turn off the microphones and I'm going to turn on the sound. Okay. All right. So let me turn off the microphones. All right, there's the microphones are off. So we're going to listen to a conversation between the father and the mother, between the two people, the two parents, planning their vacation, right? And you'll hear in the conversation, they're using a lot of these conditional forms, right? If we do this, we will have to pay this much. If we do that, we will save some money, right? So we'll listen to their vacation planning. And remember, we're using this first conditional because these are things that are possible in the future. They're things that are possible. We're going to take a vacation for sure. But the question is, what will we do? Okay, so I'm going to share the screen again. I want you to listen and take some notes. So get out a piece of paper and you're going to take a few notes. Let's see here. Okay, we're going to go to the next page. And I'm going to do this. And... All right, so we're going to take some notes. And notice what we're looking for. We're looking for a few things. We have two possibilities. First, we want to find out how much they will spend if they go to San Francisco, right? How much are the tickets? How much is the hotel? How much is the tax? Then the second thing you need to listen for is for the gas and the campsite if they go camping. Okay. All right. And let me just double check to make sure the correct button is pushed. Let me check one more time. All right. Okay, there. Yeah, I didn't push that button. Okay. It's always important to push that button or you can't hear the sound. Okay. All right. So let's listen and get out your notebook and your pencil and take some notes about the prices. Okay. So we're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of information. 5 pieces of information. The cost of the tickets, the cost of a hotel, the hotel tax, the cost for gas, and the cost of the campsite when they go camping. Okay, so here's the conversation. I'll play it 2 times. First time, just listen and take notes. Second time, tell me the answers. All right, here we go.
Unit 10, Free Time. Page 123, exercises 2A and 2B.
I'm so exhausted. I really need a vacation.
You know, my work is pretty slow right now. I can talk to my boss. Maybe he'll give me a few days off.
Oh, Ricardo, what a great idea. We haven't had a family vacation in 2 years.
Where would you like to go, Felicia?
We could go to San Francisco. Michelle's 6. She's old enough to enjoy it, don't you think?
Well, let's see if there are any deals on any of the internet travel sites. Look, if we book a flight 7 days ahead, we can get a round-trip ticket for $200.
That's not too expensive. Are there any discounts for children?
Let's see. I don't think so.
Oh, that's too bad. What about hotel rates?
Not cheap. Summer is the height of the tourist season. If we stay in a nice hotel, it's going to cost at least $250 a night.
Plus the room tax, don't forget. You have to add on an extra 14% or something like that.
Right. I forgot about that. So if the 3 of us take this trip, and if we stay in San Francisco just 3 days, it's going to cost almost $1,200.
That's a lot to spend for just a 3-day vacation, Ricardo. Maybe we should just go camping instead.
Yeah, you're probably right. We could go to Big Bear Lake. If we do that, how much will it cost?
Well, gas will probably cost about $100. The campsite will cost about $35 a night. And then there's food, but that won't be too much if we grill hamburgers.
Michelle will probably have more fun camping, too.
I agree. So what do you think? Should we make a reservation?
I'll reserve the campsite after I talk to my boss tomorrow.
I hope he says yes. We really need a vacation.
Okay. Let me turn on the microphones so you can answer the questions. Let's see, where's my buttons here? Okay, there they are. Okay, let me turn on my mics. All right. Okay. Did everybody get all the information?
Yes.
Good, good,
I
good.
think so.
I hope so.
Not all.
Let me change one button here. And so we don't have so much noise. Okay, there we go. Let's try again. Okay, back to the story. All right, very good. All right, so first let's talk about San Francisco.
Yes.
All right, how much was the plane ticket to go to San Francisco?
$200.
200 per person,
200
right?
per person.
200 per
person.
person. And how much did they say a nice hotel in San Francisco would be?
250.
250. Yeah,
Right.
those downtown hotels in San Francisco are crazy expensive.
Yeah.
So if you go to San Francisco, I hope you have a friend. That's the answer. That's that question. Because if you have to stay at a hotel in downtown San Francisco, oh no. Right. Anyway, the 250, right? And how much was the tax? Did they think?
40%.
14%.
1%.
14, right? 14%. So if they go to San Francisco, how much will they spend?
For 3 days, 1,200.
Yeah, like almost $1,200. They're going to spend $600 on the tickets, and then $500 on the hotel, plus the hotel tax, plus the meals. So kind of expensive, right? Kind of expensive. Now they look at the price of camping, right? How much is it for the gas? They estimate.
$100.
$100 for gas. And how much is the campsite for a night?
35 for night.
35 for a night. So in other words, here's all the information, right? Can you see that?
Yeah.
Right here. Right? Round trip airfare, $200. Hotel, $250. Tax, 14%. $100 for the gas, and $35 for the campsite, right? So what do they decide to do?
He decides
Go to camping.
They decide to go camping. Exactly. All right. So let's look at this story that has the vocabulary from the conversation, right? The first vocabulary word is to book a flight. What does it mean to book a flight?
To make reservations.
Make a reservation, exactly. Right. Remember, we can use the word book for two reasons in English. We can use book for a noun, like I have my English book, but we can also use book to mean reserve, especially for tickets and for tables at a restaurant, right? So you say, I have to book a night at the hotel or book a flight to San Francisco. Although if you want to fly right now, it's very cheap, right? You can go to San Francisco for $20, I think, if you think of it. Although we're not supposed to go anywhere right now, right? All right. Camping, we know. Remember, camping is a gerund. Remember we talked about when we talked about gerunds? If we have an activity, we always say go camping, go fishing, go hiking, go swimming, go shopping. For all those activities, we use the gerund, right? Right? Ricardo was hoping he has a few days off, right? Days off of his work, right?
Yeah.
And what are they looking for? Discounts.
discounts.
What is a discount?
Discounts for the cheap price.
When the price is cheaper, right? Right? Somebody in the conversation said she was exhausted. Was that the husband or the wife who said she was exhausted? The wife said she was exhausted, right? Now the next one is what we call a two-word verb. Figure out. What does it mean to figure out something?
Something
to find out, looking something.
To find an answer, right? To find an answer, got to figure it out. So for example, you say, can we take a vacation next week? Well, let me figure it out. I have to get out my pencil and my paper and start writing.
My money.
What about the word reserve? When I have the word reserve, it's another way to say book.
Papa.
To make a reservation or to reserve.
No.
All right. The next one says
round trip.
Round trip. What is a round trip ticket?
Going back.
Back and
you go to a place and then come back, right?
Come back.
Most of the time when you buy a ticket, you buy round trip.
Going back.
What do they call? What's the other kind of ticket called? The other kind of ticket, when you just go to a place and you stay there.
200.
To the gas.
No, but what do you call that ticket? There are two kinds of tickets. There's round trip tickets
Oh, single.
Single.
We call it a one-way ticket.
One-way ticket.
A one-way ticket, right?
Okay.
So there's one way or round trip. Those are the two choices, right? One way or round trip. Tax, I'm afraid we know that word very, very well, right? Lots of taxes we have to pay here in Los Angeles. Tax. Right? And tourists, right? Remember he said that this time of year was a lot of tourists in San Francisco. All right, so let's see if we can put these words into our story here. Let's see if we can put the words into the story. Let me see here. It says here, Felicia is exhausted. She's exhausted.
She needs a vacation.
She needs to take a vacation. Her husband Ricardo says she can ask for a few
days off.
A few days off. Exactly. A few days off. Felicia would like to go to San Francisco. They look for special travel what? Travel discounts, right? Travel discounts. Discount is a noun, right? So they look for travel discounts. All right. And this one says if they 7 days ahead, they can get a ticket for $200. So if they do what?
Figure it out.
If they
book a flight.
But if they book a flight, exactly. If they book a flight. If they book a flight 7 days ahead, what can they get? They can get
reserve.
What kind of ticket?
A round trip.
A round trip ticket.
A round trip.
Right? And notice here's our conditional, right? We have if. So what do we have? If plus present, and then we have can in the second part. All right?
If they figure out.
On the other hand, hotel room rates will be high because summer is the most popular season. What? Tourist season, right? Tourist season. Very good. Also, there is a room, what? A room.
Room tax.
Room tax on hotel rooms in San Francisco. There's a room tax, right? And finally, actually not finally, got two more here. Let me make this a little bit smaller so we can see the words. Okay. Finally, what does it say? They 3 trips to San Francisco will cost $1,200.
And figure out.
They figure out, exactly. Right? They put it on a pencil and a paper, they add everything together, they figure it out. They figure out the round trip tickets. Okay? All right, good. So we have 2 more words here. Felicia and her husband decide to change their plans. If they go
to camping,
they will save a lot of money. Notice the conditional here. If they go, they will save. That's what we're talking about, right? They go, simple present. They will save, future. Okay? And the last one here. It says here, Felicia's husband will reserve the campsite after he talks to his parents. Very good. Okay, so let's real quickly listen to the whole story, do a little listening practice here, and then we're going to do some practice. And then we'll take a little break after our practice, and we will go into the second part of class and talk about the last kind of condition. Okay? All right, but first, let's take a little, let me share the screen again, and let's listen. Okay, so I'm going to put this on. I'm going to open this up, share this. I'm going to turn off everybody's microphone.
Yeah, please.
Okay, there we go. Everybody's microphone is now off. Okay, so we're going to listen to this conversation, and we're going to listen to the vocabulary words in the story. Okay, so let's listen to the words, and let's read along with the book. Okay.
Page 123. Exercise 3A.
Felicia is exhausted. She needs a vacation. Her husband, Ricardo, says he can ask his boss for a few days off. Felicia would like to go to San Francisco. They look for special travel discounts on the internet. If they book a flight at least 7 days ahead, they can get a round-trip ticket for less than $200. On the other hand, hotel room rates will be high because summer is the most popular tourist season. Also, there is a room tax on hotel rooms in San Francisco. They figure out that a 3-day trip to San Francisco will cost almost $1,200. Felicia and her husband decide to change their plans. If they go camping, they will save a lot of money and their daughter will have more fun. Felicia's husband will reserve the campsite after he talks to his boss.
Okay, did everybody hear the paragraph?
Yes.
Good, 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 good. So you noticed in that paragraph they used the first conditional 2 times, right? If they book a flight in advance, they can get a ticket for $200, right? If they book a flight, simple present, they can get a ticket for $200. Can. And then the second one is in the later part of the paragraph. They say if they go camping, simple present, they will save a lot of money. If they go camping, they will save a lot of money. If present, then will. If present, then will. Present and will. Those are the main partners, right? The main partners. Okay, so let's take a little time to look at this a little more closely, this first conditional. Then we'll take a break, and then we're going to come back and look at the second conditional, okay? But first, let's look at the first conditional. Sounds good? No problems?
Yeah.
You ready?
No problem.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, so let me share the screen one more time, and we're going to look at the first conditional. Okay, go to the next page of the book. There it is. I'm going to make it bigger so everybody can read it. Can everybody see where it says focus future real conditional?
Yes. Yeah.
Uh-oh, I pushed the wrong button again. I hate when I do this. All right, okay, try it again. Okay, all right, can everybody see it?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So, look at it says use an if clause to talk about a future possibility. Use the simple present in the if clause. Example, if the fare is cheap, we will fly. Everybody know that word fare? F-A-R-E?
Yes.
What does fare mean?
More price.
The price of the ticket.
Price
Right?
of
It's always a ticket for transportation, right? Bus fare, train fare, ship fare, I suppose, airfare, right? And notice, this is what Anna was asking about. Notice we have if in the first position, we have a comma, but we can also put if in that second position. Then no comma is necessary.
Okay.
If the weather is bad, comma, she won't go swimming. Or she won't go swimming if the weather is bad. If they get time off for work, they will visit their relatives. They will visit their relatives if they get the time off of work, right? If present, then future. This was what is in the side-by-side level 2 book, but you don't need to, it's not on your test until level 3. It's in the level 2 book, but it's on the level 3 test. So level 3 is you got to know this for your final exam. All right, let's do some practice here. All right, can everybody see the practice?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, let's take a look here. Now remember, sometimes the if is in the first position, sometimes the if is in the middle. We have to look carefully. But the if is always going to be with the simple present, and the second part will be will. For this practice, we'll use will. Remember I said you can use can or might, so let's not worry about that. Let's use will, okay? So what does it say here? Annette and William will take their children to the sea adventure next month if William gets a few days off. Will, and then we have if in the second position, so we use simple present. All right? How about the next one? Is if in the first position or the second position?
Is the first position.
The
First position.
position.
So how can we say that sentence?
If they
If
get,
they will get,
If
No.
they get or if they will get? Which one should we say?
if they will
If
get.
they will.
No,
if
remember
they
the
get.
if, the if part is always present.
Yes. If
It
If
doesn't,
they,
They
if
they
they
get
get
a discount.
discount,
They
they will
They will
reserve
will
a room
reserve
at
the
the-
room at the
Perfect.
hotel.
If they get a discount, they will reserve the room. If they get, they will reserve. Present and future. The if part is first, so the simple present is first. Okay, now the next one. If prices too
If
high,
price is too high, they will. No,
But we
they
wanna use
won't
an-
be able.
no.
okay, hold on. Now, do we want present in the first part or not?
Yes,
No.
Yes.
present.
So what's the present of the be verb?
Is.
is
This price.
Well, but this is plural, so
are.
are,
Are.
right,
Are.
right.
Right.
If prices are too high,
They
They won't
They
take
won't.
the vacation, right?
one table.
Right, if the prices are too high, they won't take an expensive
Take
vacation.
the present.
Okay, now the next one, oh, look at this. The next one, we have if in the second position.
Yeah. It's future.
So what do we have over here?
Will
have.
We
have.
will have
Will have.
on Saturday.
We will have a picnic on Saturday if
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 I
Don't rain.
if it doesn't
It
rain.
rains.
If it doesn't rain, right? If it doesn't rain. Or you could say if it isn't raining,
Yeah.
right? If it doesn't rain or if it isn't raining. Okay? All right, let's look at the next one here. The next one is if is in the first position. So
Yeah.
what are we going to say?
If you give.
If
You give me.
If you give me the money,
you give me the money,
I will pay
I
you.
I will buy the concert.
I will buy the concert tickets. Exactly. If you give me the money, I will buy the tickets, right? If you give me the money, I will buy the tickets. Present and future.
Yeah.
All right. The next one, again, is simple present. What can we say?
Can
You come to Chicago.
If you come to Chicago,
We will
meet.
We will meet you in the airport. If you come to Chicago, we will meet you in the airport.
we meet you.
Very good. Number 7. Number 7 says they to Miami.
They
will fly
to Miami next
They will
month
fly to Miami
if they find a
If
cheap
they find
flight.
if they find a cheap flight. Good.
flight. Ship flight.
All right. Now the next one. Now in the next one we have if in the middle again. So this first part is going to be future, right?
Yeah.
So what do we say?
Yeah.
We won't
We
go
won't
camping
go camping if the weather is
if the
hot.
weather is too hot.
Too hot.
Right. If the weather is too hot, we won't go camping. Good. All right. Number 9. Number 9 says if it rains,
Rain. We will have
We will have
party
the
inside.
party
we will
inside.
have the party inside. If it rains, we will have the party inside. If it rains, present, we will have the party inside. And finally, again, if is in the first position.
If
If
she
she needs
A rent car,
a rental car, she will look
will look
one
one
online.
one
All right.
online.
Exactly. Okay, good. All right. Let's again listen to the form. Let's listen to the form and let's pay attention to the verbs. Wherever we have if, we have simple present. Wherever we don't have if, we have will. This is the basic conditional. I'm going to put everybody's microphone off again so we can listen clearly. Okay. All right. So let's listen to these sentences and pay attention, especially to where is the simple present and where is the word if. Where is the simple present and where is the word if? If and simple present always go together. If and simple present always go together. So let's listen here. Push this button and get my recorder going
Page
here.
124. Exercise 2A. 1,
Annette and William will take their children to Sea Adventure next month if William gets a few days off.
2,
If they get a discount, they will reserve a room at a hotel.
3,
If prices are too high, they won't take an expensive vacation.
4,
We will have a picnic on Saturday if it doesn't rain.
5,
If you give me the money, I will buy the concert tickets.
6,
If you come to Chicago, we will meet you at the airport.
7,
They will fly to Miami next month if they find a cheap flight.
8,
We won't go camping if the weather is too hot.
9,
If it rains, we will have the party inside.
10,
If she needs a rental car, she will look for one online.
Okay. Put your microphones back on for a second here. All right, no problem.
No.
Good, good, good. So what's the rule? If plus
Present.
simple present, right?
Simple
if
present.
plus simple present, sometimes can, but mostly simple present. And then the second part is usually what? Usually will. Usually will. But like we said, there are those other things that it could be. You could say might.
Might,
and
simple
simple
present,
present, right?
is going to.
Or going to, right. 80-90% of the time will. But depending on the situation, you might use those other words. Okay? So simple present plus simple future. Just remember that partnership. Present with the if and simple future with the result.
With the result.
If present,
If.
then future. Present and future. Present and future. Present and future. Present and future. Got it?
Yeah.
No problem? No problem, because you are very good students. All right. All right. So let's look at one more thing before we take a little break. And then after the break time, we're going to look at the second conditional, which is used more rarely, but it's important to know. Okay, so let me share my screen one more time. Let me see here if I can share it. I get back to my button here. It's always a little challenge with all these different buttons. Okay, share. Okay, can everybody see the screen now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and we see some pictures. Do you see the pictures?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about these people and what they will do depending on the weather. What they will do depending on the weather. Okay, so hold on. Let's look at the example first. Here's our buddy John. So what will John do if the weather is good? He will play soccer. What will he do if the weather isn't good? He will watch a movie.
He watched a movie.
Okay, so he will play soccer if the weather is good. He will watch a movie if the weather is bad, right? Okay. All right, let's look at picture number 2, Melinda and Pedro. What will they do if the weather is nice?
Going to hike.
Well, let's make a sentence. If the weather is nice,
he will go to hiking.
they will go
They will
hiking,
to hiking.
right? They will go hiking. If the weather is nice, they will go hiking. Now, what about if the weather is bad? Like, what will they do if it rains?
They
The weather
will go
is
shopping.
bad.
If it rains, they will go shopping, go to the mall, right? So if the weather is nice, they will go hiking. But if it rains, they will go shopping. All right. What about our buddy Ken? Can you see the picture of Ken?
Yeah.
All right. What will he do if the weather is nice?
He
The
will
weather
go
is
swimming.
He will go swimming. But what will he do if the weather is bad?
If the
He
weather
will
is bad,
clean the house.
he will clean the house.
He will clean the house. If the weather is bad, he will stay inside and clean the house. Very good. Very good. And what about Andrea? What will she do if the weather is nice?
She will work in the garden.
In the garden.
Right. If the weather is nice, she will work in the garden. But what about if the weather is bad? What will she do?
If the weather
Read a book.
She will read a book, or she's going to read a book. Very good. All right. Now, how about Kim and Tan? You see Kim and Tan down here, the last one? All right. Let's see. It says here, what will they do if the weather is good?
They will walk downtown.
They will walk downtown. They don't live far away, so if the weather is good, they will walk. But what about if the weather is bad? What if it's raining? What will they do?
They will take the bus.
They will take the bus. They will take the bus. Good. Good. All right. Good. I want everybody, if you can, to copy these 4 things into your notebook or take a picture of it on the screen. These 4 possibilities. All right. Copy those down. And then we're going to practice a little bit with these, with partners, okay? Have time off in the summer, have a 3-day weekend, get some extra money, and the weather is beautiful next weekend. So write those 4 down. Give you a second to get those written down, or just, you could take a photo with your phone if you can. That's faster. And then I'm going to put you into a little group and have you discuss these with your partners using present and future. While you're writing them down, I'll tell you my answers. Let's see. What will I do if I have some time off this summer? Well, if I have time off this summer, I will probably visit my sister in Arizona. Let's see. If I have a 3-day weekend, if I have a 3-day weekend, I will probably work in my yard because I can't go anywhere right now. Right? If I get some extra money, I will probably pay my bills. I don't have any extra money. Right? And if the weather is beautiful next weekend, I will probably take a walk in my neighborhood. All right. Does everybody have it written down?
Yeah.
No problem?
Yes, no problem.
Okay. All right. I'm going to stop the share now. Okay. And I'm going to put you into these little groups. Okay. So what are we going to use? If present, then future. If present, then future. So you're going to ask your partner, what will you do if? Right? What will you do if? Right? What will you do if? And remember, everybody, just to remind you, let me get the board for a second. All right, let me share the board for a second here. We erase this. Remember, when we use future, whoops, got my L. When we use these conditionals, if you say I will, that's 100%, right? I'm sure. For example, if I get some extra money, I will buy a car, right? 100%, right? But you could say also, I will probably. That's maybe 80%, right? And you could also say, maybe I will. That's maybe 50-50, right? Right, so maybe you're not sure. And remember, you can say maybe I will or I might, which is also 50-50, right? So for example, what will you do if you have some free time tomorrow? I don't know. I might watch a movie. Okay, everybody got it?
Yeah.
All right, let me stop that, Sharon. I'm gonna put you into your little groups. Okay, let me see here. Let's see, we have 16 people. So let me put you into 5 rooms with 3 or 4 people in each room, okay? 5 rooms. Okay, so you'll be with 2 other or 3 other students. So again, you have the questions. There's 4 questions, right? So I want you to ask your partners these questions, and then I want you to pay attention, because after we're done, I want you to tell me what your partner said. Okay? All right, so interview your partners, and then we're gonna practice together, and then we'll take our break, probably about in about 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and do the last part of the lesson after that. Okay, no problems?
No problem.
No problem.
All right, so off you go. You're gonna see a little button that says join, right? Just push that join button, and then you'll be into your little room with your partners. All right, push that button that says join.
Teacher, we don't go to the break?
We're gonna have break it right after this.
Ah, okay.
Right after this. This is the last thing we do before break. Okay, push that button that says join. There you go. Find the button that says join. There we go. There we go. Hello.
Hello, Mr. West.
I think your partner is must be now away from the phone right now, because she's not paying attention. Anyway, how you doing? Let me hear some of your sentences.
Yeah, it's no. Maria.
Oh, what will be if?
What will you do?
What will be you?
No, one more time. What will you do?
Oh, what will do you? Oh, what will do?
What will you do?
What will do you?
What will you do?
Oh, what will you do?
Mm-hmm. What will you do if
have time off in the summer?
You need a you there too, right? If you have time.
Oh, okay. If do.
What will you do if you have some time this summer?
What will you do if you have time off in the summer?
Okay. Laura, what will you do if you have time in the summer?
In the summer, okay. If I have vacation, I will go to Catalina Iceland.
That sounds nice. Catalina?
Iceland.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. I wonder if there's any coronavirus on Catalina.
Yeah.
Go someplace
Maybe
with no virus. Yeah.
yeah. When maybe in September is good. I don't know.
Maybe. All right, good. All right, you ask Maria the question.
Okay. Maria, what would you do if you have time in the summer?
Okay. I will probably visit my family in Guatemala.
There you go. I will probably visit my
Probably.
family.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, good. I'm going to go to a different room. You guys keep practicing, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Hello,
Hi.
teacher.
How you doing?
Teacher, the first is what will you do? What will you do if you have time off in the summer?
Perfect.
Okay. Cruzita, what will you do?
I will visit my family in to San Francisco.
Oh, you'll visit your family in San Francisco. Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. Yuveli,
Yeah.
how about you? What will you do if you have some time this summer?
I probably will take camping.
Go
I
camping.
probably will camping.
Okay, that sounds nice. How do you go camping often?
No, not
Not too
very
much.
often. Yeah,
Yeah.
not too
Only
much.
summer.
Only summer.
Oh, yes.
All right. How about you, Anna? What will you do if you have free time?
Maybe I will to visit my family in El Salvador.
You might go to El Salvador.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Very good.
Maybe
Very good.
finish this coronavirus is finished.
Please, soon. I hope.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah. The second answer is what will you do is have a 3-day weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't forget that if you have a 3-day weekend, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you have
A 3-day weekend. If you have an extra holiday.
Yeah.
If you have no work, what will you do?
Me teacher, I will rest. I will
We'll
rest.
rest. We'll
Yeah.
rest on Monday. That sounds good to me.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to go visit another room. You guys keep practicing, okay?
Okay,
Okay.
bye.
Okay.
All right. Hello. Oh, Virgilio, you're here by yourself?
Yes.
Have you? Oh,
No.
Veronica's here, but she's at work.
Excuse me.
Hello. Oh,
Hello. Hello.
yeah, I'm here. I think. Okay.
You
there.
hear me?
I hear you
Yes.
now.
Oh,
Yeah.
I had to put it in mute because I'm working.
Oh,
so
okay.
every time when somebody's coming, I have to take them
I understand.
mute. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Well, I'm here, so I can practice too. So did you? How many questions have you done so far?
None, because I
None.
only see
Oh,
the
because you were busy
video.
working. I'm sorry. All right, no problem. So let me start with the first question. Veronica, what will you do if you have some free time this summer?
I will go to the beach.
We'll go to the beach, okay? If it's
Yes.
open.
If it's open, of course.
If it's open, right? Virgilio, how about you? What will you do if you have free time this summer?
Maybe I think I will go to the beach.
You will go to the beach too. Good,
Yeah.
good. All right. What's the next question? What will you do if you have a 3-day weekend? If you have an extra day?
Oh, I will go to Big Bear. I love to go to Big Bear.
Okay, very good. And what about you, Virgilio? What will you do?
If I have 3 days of a weekend, I will go to the camping with my family.
Oh, we'll go camping. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. If I have an extra 3 days, maybe I will have a barbecue party in my yard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Invited us.
Yeah. Well, I wish I could invite everybody.
I
tell you, after this virus, we should have a big party. I'm telling you, we should have a big
I prefer to go out.
barbecue party.
Because if you do something,
Don't stay in the yard anymore, right? Okay, that's right. Okay,
Okay.
keep practicing. I'm going to go to the next room. Okay.
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 All right. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Hello.
Hi, teacher. Is nobody in my group?
Oh, what about this G7 thin Q? Is this nobody? Nobody's answering?
No. No.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we can practice together then. All right.
Okay.
We'll practice. So, Dulce, what will you do if you have free time this summer?
If I have free time in the summer, I will go to Kenneth River.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Do you go there often?
Yes, I go into camping.
Every summer?
Every summer, yeah.
And fantastic. All right. How about the next question? What will you do if you have a day off next week?
If I have day off next week, I will clean the house.
Okay. Yeah, nothing much to do, right? We'll
Just
clean
only
the
one
house.
day.
If I have a day off, I will probably watch a video. Let's see. Let me ask you another question. What's the next question on the list? Do you have it?
I have it here. Give me a chance.
There's the time in the
It says
summer.
get some extra money.
Oh, get some extra money. Okay. What will you do if you get some extra money?
If I get extra money, I will go to buy car for my daughter.
Ah, okay. Very nice. Very nice. If I get some extra money, I will save it for the summer because I don't get any job this summer. It's sad. It's sad. We should have our own class this summer. So let's see. And what's the last one?
If the weather is beautiful next week.
If the weather is beautiful, what will you do if there's a beautiful day next week?
If the weather is beautiful, I will to go maybe Sequoia.
Oh, okay. That's nice. That's nice. I will probably maybe go to Santa Monica.
Oh, wow. That's so nice. To the pier.
That's nice to walk around, maybe. Walk around the neighborhood.
Now, maybe it's clean because nobody there.
Yeah, it's empty, all right? The beach is empty.
Yeah.
All right, very good, very good. All right, I'm going to close the bakeout rooms and then we'll get back to business, okay? So, so you can go ahead and push the button to come back to the main room, okay?
Okay, teacher. See you there.
Okay, bye-bye. Hello again. Welcome back.
Welcome back, teacher.
Did everybody get a chance to practice?
Yes.
Yes.
Very good, very good. We'll see when everybody comes back. So let's start out. Veronica, who was your partner and what did you learn from your partner?
Vigilio.
Virgilio, what did he tell you?
If he's taking 3 days weekend, he's gonna go camping.
If he has a 3-day weekend, he's going to go camping. Very good. All right, Cruz, who is your partner?
Anna.
Anna, what did Anna say?
Anna, we're in the beautiful that weekend. Will I go
She, right?
She going.
She will go.
She will go in the restroom.
Okay. Very good. Very good. All right. Is this
I am sleeping.
All right. Very good. So everybody's back. I think this is everybody.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. All right. Let's take a little break if you need to use the restroom or you want to get a drink of water. Take a break, and then at 11 o'clock we'll come back and we'll look at the last kind of conditional, what we call the second conditional. Okay. So let's take a little break and then we'll come back and we'll practice some more. Okay. So I'm going to turn off my microphone and I'm going to turn off my camera, and you can go ahead and enjoy yourself and speak Spanish all you like, and we'll have. And I'm gonna go get a glass of water. Okay.
Okay.
Hola, Ana, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, y sabes que me voy a salir un rato porque mi teléfono se ha recalentado. Me voy a salir un ratito, ya te llamo.
Pues yo no te voy a ver porque yo estoy trabajando y a las 11 me salgo.
Oh, entonces, ¿a qué hora sales de trabajar?
No, o sea, no, ahorita estoy aquí abajo, estoy bien, pero a las 11 tengo que irme para arriba a hacer actividades.
Ah, pues me comunico en 5 minutos para despedirme. Vaya, pues.
Órale, pues, cuídate.
Tú también, Verónica.
Bye.
Ana. Sí, cometa. ¿De qué? ¿Quién no estaba hablando? ¿No? Estaba haciendo chicken. ¿Cuál cable? No había nada, no. Ya no saben qué estás hablando. De verdad, no. No quiero que aquí, man, de verdad, man, God, man. No me quieres ni una cosa, man. Es man.
Get a break?
Yeah. Hello. Are we all back?
Yes.
Mari.
Oh.
How is everybody? Rested?
Yes.
All right.
Dile.
Your
You stay safe
coworker.
out there.
Say hello to your coworker.
That's my
Wow.
coworker, guys.
Okay. All right. No problem. No problem.
No problem.
Everybody's welcome to learn English.
I know. Keep running
Ya,
here.
ya te vas.
Oh, okay.
Ya te vas,
Easy.
Verónica.
English, Spanish,
Uh-oh.
language.
All right, no problem.
Verónica, ¿vas a seguir, Verónica?
No, I got to leave, chica, because I'm going to the second floor now.
Okay.
Mr. Webb,
Okay.
I see you and YouTube because I had to leave. I'm
Okay.
going to the second floor now to do exercise.
Oh, okay.
With
So
the patients.
okay, so you can watch the rest of the presentation on the video, okay?
Yes.
See you next week. See you next week, Verónica.
Yeah,
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you later. All right. Okay, so we're ready for part 2. So what did we learn in part 1? If, present, then will, right? That's our basic one. Present and will. All right, now we're going to look at the second conditional. Okay, so I'm going to turn off the mics and I'm going to share the screen and we'll look at the second conditional and then we're going to practice it a little bit. Okay, so mics are off. Okay, and let me share my screen here if I can find it. Here we go. All right, this is what we were looking at before. This is what we were looking at before. So here is the present conditional with if and present. So now let's look at what we call the second conditional. The second conditional is used in only a very specific situation. We use this form when the condition is not true or we don't expect it to happen anytime soon. It is just our imagination. You know, like sometimes you're just thinking to yourself, what if blah, 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 and you're imagining something that's not true. You're imagining something that's not true. And the form we use in this case is not present, but simple past. If simple past and not will, but would, right? Using past tense and using would indicate that this is just imagination. It's not real. It's just a daydream. It's just a daydream. For example, if I had more free time, I would do more exercise. But actually, I'm very, very busy and I don't have time, right? This is just a daydream. Oh, what would I do if I had extra time? Right now, I'm busy. Run. No time for exercise. But if I had more free time, simple past, I would do more exercise. Now, this is very important. Even we're using past tense, had. I'm not talking about yesterday, last week, last month. I'm talking about my imagination. What would I do if I had the time? I would do more exercise. Or I would travel around the world if I won the lottery. Otra vez, notice I can have if in the second position or if in the first position. If I have if in the first position, I need a comma. If in the second position, no comma is necessary. If people drove less, there wouldn't be so much air pollution. Again, this is just a hypothetical situation. I'm just imagining, right? The truth is people drive all the time, except now. But if they drove less, there wouldn't be so much pollution. And if I didn't have to work today, I would go to the beach. If the beach were open, I would go, right? If I didn't have to work today. So notice, what do I have? If, simple past. If I had, if I won, if people drove, if I didn't work. And then the other part, would, right? If past, then would. Let's look at some variations. Sometimes we use the word might or could if the result is less certain. For example, if I had time tomorrow, I could go to the mall. I could go. Not can, but could. Not can, but could. I could if I had time. If Alicia studied more, she might get better grades. Not for sure, but it's possible. Not for sure, but it's possible. If you took the bus to work, you might like it, right? You're always very frustrated when you drive your car. If you took the bus, you might like it. Who knows? If I could go anywhere in the world, I would go to India. Maybe. Again, if I could, I would. If I could, I would. Right? Past tense and would. Important. And this is something that seems very funny, but it's necessary. With this second imaginary conditional, when we have the be verb, we always use the word were for all subjects in formal grammar. Example, if I were you. Right? It doesn't make sense to say I were, but that's how we say it. If I were you, I would try to find another job. Usually in simple past, I say I was, right? But not with the condition. If I were you. If Karen weren't so busy, she'd take a yoga class. Notice I can say she would or she'd with the apostrophe S. If today were a holiday, you would see a lot of American flags. But today is not a holiday, so no flags. My wife and I would travel more if we were retired. Actually, we are not retired, so we're not traveling very much. But we would travel more if we were retired, right? Whenever we have if in this second conditional, we want to use were as our be verb. Now, of course, we could also use any other past tense. If I took, if I spoke, if I ate, if I made. But we can also use simple past with were. All right. And that's the end of the presentation on simple past. If you come to every class, your English will improve. That's true. All right. So let me stop that share for a second and let me turn everybody's microphone back on. All right. So what did we learn? This is for things that aren't real, for things that don't happen, for things that only are in our imagination, right? So for example, if you say, I don't have a bicycle, but if I had a bicycle, I would ride to work. Or I don't live by the school. If I lived by the school, I would walk there every day, right? It's something that's not true. It's something that's in my imagination. It's not a possibility, right? Remember when we were listening to the conversation between the family, the husband and the wife, they were talking about a real vacation, right? So they say, if we go to San Francisco, we will spend a lot of money. If we go camping, we will save money, right? Because those are two real possibilities. So they're discussing it with simple present. If we go to San Francisco, we will spend over $1,200. If we go camping, we will only spend about $200, right? So it's better to go camping. Those are two real possibilities, right? But on the other hand, let's say, for example, are you going to go to Japan? No, I'm not going to Japan. But if I went to Japan, I would visit Tokyo, right? I'm just in my imagination. It's not where I'm going to go right now. But if I went to Japan, I would visit Tokyo. If I went to France, I would visit the Eiffel Tower. If I went to England, I would go to London, right? That's just imagination. I'm not taking any of these vacations, especially right now. So right now is actually a very good way to do it, right? So for example, if it weren't for the coronavirus, if the coronavirus weren't here, we would have class in the classroom, right? But it's not possible, right? If it weren't so easy to catch the coronavirus, we wouldn't have to stay in our house all the time, right? It's not true. In fact, we can't have class, right? We could have class in the classroom if it weren't for the virus, right? If it weren't for the virus. So past and would, or past and could. That's a possible second conditional. All right. I want to practice this a little bit together, and then we're going to have some conversation, okay? All right, so let me share one more screen with you if I can, right here. Okay, can everybody see the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Look at this example. Here we have so. Remember so from last week? It says, I don't have a car, so I don't drive to work. However, if I had a car, remember, it's always the opposite of what is really true. If I had a car, I would drive to work. If I had a car, I would drive to work. Now, this next one says, I don't speak French, so I won't move to Paris. But in my imagination, what do I say?
Yes, I speak
If
French. Speak French.
If I had speak French.
Is simple past, right? We want simple past. If
does.
I spoke French, what would I do?
I will move to Paris. To Paris.
Right? You see what I have? I have present. I use past and would. If I spoke French, I would move to Paris. Just like here, I have simple past. If I had a car, I would drive to work. All right, good. How about the next one? I can't swim, so I don't go to the beach very often. What can we say for this one?
I can't swim.
But remember, we want past. If I could, there we go. If I could swim, what would I do?
I will go
to the beach. Very often.
Very often.
To the beach.
Instead of very often, I'll say more often. Right? So if I could swim, simple past, could. Remember, can is present, could is past. If I could swim, I would go to the beach more often. If I could swim, I would go to the beach more often. Could and would. All right. The next one says, Larry eats junk food, so he is overweight. So the truth is he eats junk food. But in imagination, what do we say?
Is he?
If Larry
don't eat.
Should we say don't or didn't?
Didn't.
Didn't, right?
Didn't
eat. Larry didn't
eat junk food.
If he didn't eat junk food, what would happen?
He will
get healthy.
He wouldn't or he won't?
He won't. He won't.
He wouldn't be.
Be overweight.
These are both negatives, right?
Yeah.
If he didn't eat junk food, he wouldn't be overweight. If he didn't eat junk food, he wouldn't be overweight. Didn't and wouldn't. Didn't and wouldn't. Two negatives. All right. Oh, now number 5 has that be verb, is, right?
Yeah.
So Nancy is very busy, so she doesn't go to the gym very often. So if...
Is Nancy where? Is Nancy where? Where?
No, was.
Where?
No, what? No, where? Where?
Where?
Weren't.
Oh.
Is Nancy wearing busy? Busy?
Wearing busy. She will.
What would she do?
She will to go.
Very often.
She will to work to the gym very often.
To the gym very often.
Very often.
Right? If she weren't busy, actually, in fact, she is busy, right? But if she weren't busy, she would go to the gym more often. If she weren't busy, she would go to the gym more often. Weren't and would. Weren't and would. Okay, very good, very good. Number 6 says Peter lives far from school, so he can't walk there. All right. So in our imagination, what do we say?
Is Peter live?
If Peter
If Peter
if Peter live closer
That we can say that, live closer. Or we could say, we could also say if Peter didn't live far from school. Both are closer to school. Both are okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're imagining something that's not true, right? Yeah. So we could say if he lived closer, that's fine. Or if he didn't live far, that's fine too. If he lived closer, or if he didn't live so far, what do you do?
He could
walk.
Walk.
Remember, can changes to could.
Oh, yeah.
Could. Yeah.
Or you could say he would walk there. That's fine too. Could or would in the second part. Right? If he didn't live far from school, he could walk. But in fact, he lives far away, so he can't walk.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Number 7 says, Miguel is sick, so he won't go to work.
Yeah.
Miguel is sick, so he won't go to work. What can we say here?
Wearing
Is
sick?
Wearing sick?
Miguel
wearing sick.
He won't go to the work.
Work.
If he weren't sick, he would go to work. If Miguel weren't sick, he would go to work. He wants to go to work, but he's sick. If he weren't sick, he would go to work.
Today isn't Sunday.
If he weren't sick.
So my parents
at church
are in school.
All right. Today is not Sunday. Today's Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my parents aren't at church.
Today isn't Sunday.
Yeah.
So what can we say?
Is today.
If today.
Where Sunday?
Where Sunday?
My parents.
My parents.
My parents good.
Would what?
Good are.
To the church.
Would are or would be?
Would be at church.
If today were Sunday, my parents would be at church. If today were Sunday, my parents would be at church.
I'm
hungry, so I cannot concentrate on the lesson. Some of you might be feeling like that right now.
Yeah.
Getting close to lunchtime. All right, so what do we say? Is
I wearing hungry?
Wearing
hungry? I
will concentrate.
Concentrate on the lesson.
I will concentrate on
the lesson.
Right, if I weren't hungry,
I could concentration on the lesson.
I could concentrate. Here we go. If I weren't hungry, I could concentrate on the lesson. If I weren't hungry, I could concentrate. But in fact, I'm very hungry, so it's difficult for me to concentrate.
Yes.
All right. I don't know how to cook, so I won't invite my friends to my house for dinner. Okay, that's the truth. But in my imagination, what do I say?
If I now.
No or new?
No.
New.
I know.
If I knew
How to cook.
How to cook.
what would I do?
I would.
I would
Invited
to my
friends
house.
to my house.
To my house.
If I knew, simple past, if I knew how to cook, I made a little mistake here. I would invite my friends to my house for dinner. Good. All right. All right, I'm going to save this and I'm going to send it to you so you can look at it after the class is over, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Save it. Okay, and let me open this. And here we go. Let me add it right now to your class. Okay, let me see here. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, push this button and you'll get that paper that we just did so you can look at it on your own. There we go. All right, you should have that on your in your phone shortly. I'll send it to the WhatsApp as well after class. Okay, good. No problem so far?
No problem.
No problem.
All right, let's do some conversation. Let's do some conversation here. All right. Let me let's see if we can ask each other some questions here. All right, let me go here. Okay. All right. Can everybody see the questions?
Yes.
Now, remember what we were talking about at the first part of class was just imagination, right? No, excuse me, was real. What will you do if you have free time this summer? That's a possibility. All right. So let's use these with past, and we're going to say, now, what will you do? What would you do? Okay. So let's just practice in the room since we don't have too many people here. Let me practice. Let's see, we have only 11 people here right now. Let's see. Laura Cruz. Laura Cruz, are you still there?
Yes.
All right, let me ask you a question. What would you do if you had more free time? What would you do if you had more free time? I'm sure you're a mom, you're very busy. What would you do if you had more free time?
I would do exercise.
Would do more exercise. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. All right. Laura, I want you to ask Yolanda the second question.
Okay. Yolanda? Yeah?
For Yolanda, yeah.
Oh, okay. What would you do if you won 1,000 in the lottery?
What would you do if you won $1,000 in the lottery?
I would send money to Mexico.
You'd send some money to Mexico. Fantastic. All right. Yolanda, please ask Juan Pablo number 3.
Okay.
Okay, Juan Pablo, what will you do if you couldn't pay your rent?
If I can pay my rent, I
no. You don't know what you would do.
I work in Marlborough.
He would start to cry, I suppose. Yeah. All right. All right. Let's see. Juan Pablo, can you please ask Maria Diego the next one?
Okay. Maria Diego, if you
what would you do?
What you do if you found a wallet in the street?
What would you do if you found a wallet in the street?
I will probably call, I would
call the owner maybe, or
yes.
look for identification.
Yeah.
So if you found a wallet in the street, you would look for identification.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good. All right, Maria Diego, please ask Virgilio the next question.
Okay. What will you do if
what would you do? What would you do?
Would you do?
The question up here in yellow, right?
Okay.
What would you do?
Okay. What would you do if you if you found no if you
spoke
better English?
If you spoke better English.
If I spoke better English, I would like find a better job.
Very good, very nice. If I spoke better English, I would try to find a better job. Okay, good. All right, Virgilio, can you please ask? Let's see who else is here in this classroom. Let me see here. Can you please ask Edna?
Okay, Edna, what would you do if you could do any job that you wanted?
Okay, what would you do if you could do any job you want? What kind of job would you have?
I will. I
will.
The means want.
What?
I will.
Well, let me give you an example. If I could do any job I wanted, I would play for the Los Angeles Dodgers. That's my dream job, being a Dodger, right? So what is your dream job? If you could do any job you wanted, what would you do?
Okay, I will.
It's just a dream. It's not true.
Dream is go dream or watch the concert.
No, I'm talking about a job though.
The job.
Yeah, what kind of job would you do if you could do any job in the world? Would you be a doctor? Would you be a dentist? Would you be a pilot?
I would do. And the doctor.
You would be a doctor. Okay. All right. Very hard work being a doctor right now. All right. Good. Edna, ask Dulce the next one. Please ask Dulce the next one. What would you do?
What would you do if what would you do?
Mm-hmm. If your neighbors
were having loud parties every night.
Mm-hmm.
Every night, I would like to send my phone number and tell they invite me to enjoy. I can't sleep.
That's a good solution. You're having fun without me. It's not fair.
I can't sleep. It's better to be with them.
Yeah.
All right. I like the way you think. That's very good. All right. And for Ana Castro, Dulce, please ask Ana Castro the last one.
Okay, Ana, What will you do if you would like, if you could live anywhere in the world?
What would you do if you could?
I would like in United States.
Here in the United States.
Yeah.
You're living your dream right now. You're living your dream right now. There we go. You would live in the United States. Fantastic. All right. Very good.
The best place.
All right. Good. So, does everybody get the idea about what would you do questions?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe some of you have seen this television show called What Would You Do? Have you ever seen this show?
What?
They have a TV program called What Would You Do? And where they always have somebody who's in some kind of uncomfortable situation, and they see how the people will react. And so you when you're watching at home, you say, what would I do if that happened? Like maybe there's a waiter who's being very rude to a customer, or there's a lady who is yelling at her children, and you say, what would I do in this situation? Okay, because it's not real. It's just imagination. You're just thinking, what would I do? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put you in your small groups again, and I want you to use your imagination and ask your partners 3 what would you do questions. Okay? So the question's going to start the same for all. What would you do if, and then you think of something in past, right? It's just imagination. What would you do if you had an accident? What would you do if you broke your leg? What would you do if you lost your job? Et cetera, right? You could ask any kind of, because it's just imagination. You could say, what would you do if you could fly? What would you do if you were invisible, right? You could ask anything because it's imagination. It's not real, right? So I'm going to put you into little groups, and I think since we don't have a whole lot of people, I'm going to do 2 groups, okay? And I want you to practice asking yourself 3 what would you do questions, okay? So, yeah, so like so you're going to have 3 partners, so ask each of your partners a different question, okay? Okay, everybody got the idea?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to put you in 2 rooms this time. Let's see, oops. Let me go back here. All right, let's see here. All right, hold on. Let me cancel it. Let's start again. Breakout room. All right, let's see. All right, let me change the room number. I got you in 5 different rooms again. Okay, 2 rooms. There we go. All right. Oops. 2 rooms. 2 rooms. Okay. All right. Okay. Now we're in 2 rooms. Okay. I'm going to send you into your rooms. You're going to talk to each other. And what's the question?
What would you do?
What would you do? What would you do?
Yolanda!
Hola.
Hola.
Oh, she's back. Okay. Here we go. Just push that button that says join. Push that join button and you'll go back to your little group. So the question, what would you do if? What would you do if? Juan Pablo, are you there? Oh, you're frozen. How are we doing?
Good.
Do we have good imaginations?
Yes.
All right,
Okay. What would you do if you stay sick in the weekend?
If you got sick, right? Simple past.
Got sick.
Yeah. What would you do if you got sick this weekend?
I
would
will go to the doctor.
I would go to the doctor, right? Remember, this is not true. You're not sick right now.
Yeah.
Gracias a Dios. But if you say, if I got sick, I would call the doctor. Right? If I got sick, I would call the doctor.
Call doctor.
Imagination.
Mhm.
All right, let's hear another one.
Virgilio,
Yes. Yes.
yeah, ask the question, please.
Oh, what would you do? What would you do if you have enough money?
What would you do if you had enough money?
Oh, funny.
If I had enough money, I would pay off my house. How about you,
Good answer.
Yolanda? What would you do if you had enough money?
I will pay my car.
You would pay off your car.
My car.
Oh, somebody's back. Hold on. Who's coming in? Oh, okay. Let me put Juan Pablo to a room. All right.
Okay, Edna.
Yeah.
What could you do if had another? See, it's okay. There's another country.
If you moved to another country,
You move another country.
what would you do if you moved to another country?
¿Cómo dijiste? What would you do?
If you move another country.
Another country. I would visit the different place.
Okay, you would visit different places. Very good. All right, keep practicing. I'm going to the next room, okay?
Okay.
Astronaut.
Yeah, all time. Yeah, I could use my regular code.
Yeah, yeah.
Hello,
Ahora
everybody.
tú preguntas, you ask for Cruzita. Laura, you ask for Cruzita.
Oh, a Cruzita. Okay. Where is
Cruz?
Cruzita. Okay, Cruz. What would you do if you had vacations?
If you had a vacation.
Mm-hmm. Cruz?
I would like the vacation.
No se oye, ¿verdad?
El de Cruzita está algo
Cruzita, Cruzita, acércate
Pégate
tu
un
speaker.
poquito más.
Pégate, pégate.
You're very quiet.
Ya.
So if you had what was it? If you had a vacation?
What would you do?
What would you do if you had a vacation? If you had 2 weeks off of work, what would you do?
Poquito.
Poquito. Little.
No toques. Don't touch.
No lo toques, solo pégatelo un poquito
Solo
a la
habla.
boca.
Solo habla.
Cruzita, si quieres, escúchanos y Laura, repita la pregunta para mí.
Okay. What would you do if you have vacation?
I will treat for San Francisco to visit my family.
You would travel to San Francisco, okay?
Yeah. Ahora, Dulce, what would you do if you have $3,000 $3,000?
If you had $3,000,
If I have $3,000.
what would you buy if you had $3,000?
Oh, yeah, I have $3,000. I want to buy new glasses because this one is so bad.
Well, $3,000, you're going to get a very nice pair of glasses. Huh?
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
You get a fantastic
with the protective screen and everything.
Gold glasses for $3,000.
Yeah.
Or maybe the what is the name? The laser
Oh, laser surgery. Yeah.
Yeah, laser surgery. That one.
Laser eye surgery. Yeah, my daughter wants to get that.
Dulce, you wear glass and you wear a car. buy. You will buy the car and your glass.
I would like to do it, but I need to work really hard to do it.
That's right.
Dulce,
That's
you
right.
ask for Laura.
Laura, okay. Cruz no, don't pick.
Oye, solo está oyendo porque no se oye el speaker.
Oh, okay. Laura, what do you like?
What would you do?
What will you like if you have?
Don't need to like. What would you do?
What would you do if you have a Rolls Royce?
If you had a Rolls Royce.
A car?
A car, yeah.
Oh.
I think,
okay.
Where you like to go with the Rolls Royce?
I could get, no, I could, would be crazy.
Yeah, you would have to be careful in that neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
You wouldn't park on the street, that's for sure.
Yes.
You would have to get a very safe garage.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, you're doing a good job. Keep practicing. I'll bring you back to the room in just a few minutes, okay?
Okay, teacher.
Okay.
Cruz todavía